The Eagles are looking to do what they couldn't do 2 years ago against the Chiefs. We wanted to key in on the biggest factors in this game. Jay, what is the Eagles' key to victory? Just one.
Just one? I don't have just one. I got lots of them. But I'll say probably Jalen Hurts' continued ball security domination. He's done a great job now. He hasn't been the most flashy quarterback throwing for 300 yards, but he has protected the football and given the Eagles a chance to win, and that allows Saquon Barkley to hit the home runs down the field, down at big hits with the runs.
Colt, I'm going to go to you. You love Jalen Hurts. I know you do. But
I do.
What is the Eagles' biggest key to victory?
I think they just have to contain Mahomes' mobility. Listen, Patrick Mahomes has done a great job this year of just creating things on his own, running with the football, scramble drill, things break down, moving around. His ability to do that has won them games down the stretch. And so their ability to contain Mahomes in the pocket, play good coverage on the back end, make him make a bad decision or two, and figure out a way to not let him create plays, that's going to be the Eagles' key to victory. I think their offense is going to play well. I think Saquon Barkley is going to play well. I think their defense is going to show up to play. I think they're going to stop the run. Can they contain Patrick Mahomes' mobility to not find ways to win this game, just on his own? That to me, that's what you got to stop going into this game.
Justin, what do you got?
I'm going health of their two interior offensive linemen. Cam Jurgens, their starting center, and Landon Dickerson had a knee and had a back injury for Cam Jurgens. We need those two players healthy. They went out there and they piecemealed together the NFC Championship game. But if you're down two starters on the interior offensive line and your two centers, it's going to be a very tough day. Jalen Hurts is going to be worried about getting that snap, and he's not going to be able to do all the other things looking downfield. So I'm going health of the interior offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I agree. We always start with the offensive line when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. But I think the one thing that people are overlooking a little bit in this matchup is the fact that they have been there. A lot of these guys from this Eagles team have been there just a few years ago. And what most people don't realize is the hoopla of the game, the magnitude of the game is so different with the Super Bowl. The pregame is so much longer. There's so much more going on. Halftime is so much longer. How do you handle that, right? I remember Bruce Arians literally dedicated one of our whole days. We would practice for, I don't know, the first 3 or 4 periods of the practice. And then he put everybody in the corner and said, hey, just go sit down. And we took 30 minutes off, because it's a much longer halftime, and then came back out of practice. So you try and get these things. But because Philly's been there, it's going to be a big deal for them. The fact that a lot of these players have been there, obviously, and then they can give their experience to the younger guys. And I think that's going to be a big deal. Why don't we go back around the horn? Jay, is there any other thing you got that the Eagles can really pinpoint?
Well, I think matchups, you got A.J. Brown versus McDuffie will be a big one. Eventually, they're going to have to go to that, especially if Justin Reed's coming out of the box to really stop Saquon Barkley. You'll see that matchup. You'll see Devontae Smith versus Watson in another one-on-one matchup. That'll be big. So the passing game, when it is called upon, who's going to make it work? Is it going to be A.J. Brown, or is it going to be Devontae Smith, or could it be Dallas Goedert?
Colt, do you got anything on the defensive side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball, that you see as another advantage that the Eagles can really take advantage of?
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on what I said earlier about Patrick Mahomes, like creatability and being able to make plays when things break down. If I'm Vic Fangio, like, one of the things that has a strength at is, like Jay mentioned, mixing up his coverages, double teaming, bracketing. Like, you don't have to do that against the Chiefs. You really don't. You got enough guys to go play man coverage and bottle up Patrick Mahomes. And so I think it's going to come down to, how does Vic Fangio decide he wants to call this game? Like, is he willing to play man coverage and have a spy on Patrick Mahomes and kind of shut that down? Or is he going to play his two deep safeties and play some brackets and play some double teams and take away a receiver or two? Like, I don't think he has to get that creative. I think he needs to get pressure on Mahomes, and I think he just can't let him extend plays. If he can find a way to do that in this matchup, I think the Eagles have an edge there.
All right, Justin, any other advantages?
I'm looking at it when you talk about McDuffie and A.J. Brown. Look at the other receiver, Devonta Smith. I mean, he's been an impact player for this Philadelphia Eagles team. The Slim Reaper is probably going to get off and make some plays in this one. I'm also a little bit nervous about how Kellen Moore responds. Everyone's talking about how he's getting the New Orleans Saints head coaching job. So I'm hopeful that he's still locked in, because I don't care who you are. If you're spending hours and you're in the Saints facility, you're looking around like, ooh, I'm going to be in charge of this place here in a week from now. So that's what I'm definitely looking at.
I think one more thing, just to piggyback off of Colt's talk about keeping Mahomes in the pocket. I think another thing that is going to be crucial to the Eagles' success is rush lane integrity. If you're Jalen Carter and you're the B gap, you can't get fooled and think I can make the inside move, and then all of a sudden that B gap expands and it's huge, and now he can rush up the middle for 20 or whatever it may be. They got to be so sound, and if you don't get there, put the brakes on, keep them here, and you got to have rush lane integrity this entire game, because if you make one mistake, that one mistake can turn into a crucial play in this game.
Good luck.
The best app for your big game party is on your phone. That's right. You and all of your friends could be feasting on Underdog. Get together on stats like passing yards, first TDs, interceptions, and so much more. If you or your friends haven't joined Underdog yet, what are you waiting for? Whoever signs up today using code POCKET, capital POCKET, will get up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, that's code POCKET for up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Head to the App Store and download Underdog today.